Dehancer 7 Pro is a plugin that's here to get your digital footage looking like it was shot on film. And film to me has always been a step beyond our reality, but it doesn't go so far beyond the real world because we've been used to looking at film for over 100 years now. Dehancer reached out to me about reviewing this plugin. No caches at changed hands. As a matter of fact, you won't even know what in the world I have to say until this video goes public. But I am a member of the Dehancer affiliate program. I've even got a code called YeagerShots for 10% off if you decide to pick up anything from them. This is actually probably maybe my first time having a code with another company. Inside here at the computer with my YeagerShots film strip shirt on because I really do like this whole film stuff. Let's go over what it takes to install Dehancer. Dehancer included a little bit of a note about installing to an OpenCL or CUDA core, basically a AMD or NVIDIA GPU. So if people aren't too up to snuff on their terms about GPUs and their PCs, that could be a little bit of a bottleneck, but easy enough to install. I would like to see something where it just does it automatically. And I would also like to know that it got installed properly. I was just kind of sitting there waiting to see if something was going to happen. So a little bit of a pop-up notification lets you know that it's already ready to go and be used inside of, in this case today, DaVinci Resolve would be a nice addition. And once you're inside of DaVinci Resolve, you're going to come under your effects panel to look at Dehancer 7 Pro. Hopefully it will be there if all went well. On the PC, you're going to hold down the Alt key and click around the input to let all of your drop downs come down. A big draw for me today is definitely going to be the profile of all the film types. There's over 60 in here that you can choose from. And some might talk about just how accurate this film stock is, but once you do so much adjusting and things like that, I can't really speak on how accurate it would be in that case. And the customization comes in features like halation, which is technically a defect in film, but that little bit of redness and highlights is actually kind of pleasing to the eye. Think of halation as like the person who showed up at a party uninvited, but they were so cool, they became friends with everybody. And this is basically what it is in this process. Like halation, we want you to stay. We'll go into bloomness. That's how you get that pro mist softness in it. But the thing with Dehancer is, especially when I'm gonna talk about grain in just a second, it has a nice gentle touch to it that the tools inside of DaVinci might not have, and it can definitely be a matter of taste and preference. And also my example of what's soft is just doing this. That's how I say soft. Can we just chat a little bit about grain? And this could be a hot button topic, but I'm not always the biggest fan of having grain in my images. I have sort of embraced digital, but back in the day, jack up that grain, throw it in there. We'll jack it up here so you can see it online. Put plenty of grain all over the place. Dehancer has a nice implementation of that, but honestly, this can come down to a whole lot of pixel peeping people to really see this, and you kind of have to have a little bit of working knowledge of grain in things like DaVinci to really care about how it's implemented. Basically, I'm not super sure if this is gonna make or break the film look. Creating the right type of S-curve and maybe having some great LUTs and the film profiles like in Dehancer are way more important to me for creating a film aesthetic. Also important to me, you swing by YeagerShots.com where you can pick up photo, video themed apparel, shirts just like this. It really does help me out. Gate weave is another one of those aesthetics that I really like. That's just the case of the image having a little bit of shake to it, which can be kind of cool depending on the story you're trying to tell. And film breadth, where the colors can change in your image, but this is definitely probably best used with that light touch, unless you're going for something really, really crazy and dramatic, like I did when I cranked all of these settings up to max. Optimization definitely is something that has to be constantly worked on the PC, on the Mac side, and on the iOS. I use Dehancer's app on an iPhone SE 2020, and I've got a little bit of mixed feelings about it. On the still photo side, I think it's pretty good. Almost all of the features, if not every single one of the features from the desktop version is inside of this app, which is a good thing, and as many can probably guess where this is going, it can also be a little bit of a bad thing. The video does sort of seem to want to run at about 12 frames per second, a 10-second clip that I put in, mind you. And to export, I could never do a high-res version. It crashed several times in a row. I had to drop down to 1080 or 720. And also the same 10-second clip, after I threw my effects on there, took over 2.5 minutes to export. If you're working with video files, something more convenient to use might be an app like 8mm 2, which had profiles of its own that they start to put behind a paywall. Nowhere near in the realm of accuracy or as many features as something like a Dehancer. But if you want to work with quick video clips, an app like that might be a little bit more suitable. Way better optimization, runs way better, and you can just kind of get through it and handle it a bit quicker. Other thing about doing video on your phone is the screen is just so small, and playback is very crucial to see exactly how these film emulations are going on to your video. For me though, I think Dehancer Lite would be the one I would get if I didn't want every single one of the features from Dehancer Pro. With Dehancer Lite, I'm going to get those picture profiles, which I just think is absolutely the star main feature and attraction right here, and the reason to use Dehancer. Reminder, use code YeagerShots to get 10% off if you decide to purchase anything over at Dehancer.com. A mobile app of Dehancer is just gonna be a no-go for the price that it is, and really the best functionality only comes off of the still side, and I just think there's plenty of film emulation, still photography apps that can just do that way better. The video, there's just absolutely non-starter there. Hopefully some better optimization in the future could definitely get it there, but when working on something like film emulation, I really do want that larger screen to see exactly what's going on, and that real-time playback is going to be very, very crucial, especially when I'm putting things like dirt and scratch effects on top of the image. Ultimately, Dehancer 7 Pro was exactly the plug-in that I thought that it would be. Nice picture profiles, absolutely fantastic to be able to see all these options, but only if the rest of your workflow and pipeline inside of DaVinci kind of works and you have a working knowledge of what everything is doing. I'm talking about the exposure, contrast ratios, what kind of curve you want to create, most likely an S curve to get that film look. When you put it all together and then can throw bloom in to take the edge off of some of the harshness, then I think you're getting even more out of Dehancer. So it's not going to be the silver bullet turnkey solution to really get you where you want to go, but it's definitely a nice riding partner to get you where you want to go. Thank you so much. If you made it this far, make sure you hit up Dehancer.com. Use code YeagerShots to get 10% off of anything that you purchase on their website. And of course, that really does help me out. Hit that like button and subscribe and never miss a shot from YeagerShots.com. See ya. Or does this just mean soft?